Today I will be showing Killjoy swarm grenade spots. Our first spot will be here. You line up with this line. You find this part and you line up. You left click or you can right click. If you get a better angle, the right click, it can go a little bit further in, but it doesn't really matter. So if they come planting default, it hits all around, all the way, and it is a good, even if you move farther this side, get it, you have to move here. So if you plant here, these are swarm grenades. If they from cubby, and it'll damage them, and then you can peek and shoot. The next spot is if you're coming from CT, there's gonna be people camping on this box here. The way to counter that, if you peek, you can walk up, line up with this wall, look into this corner where this crack meets, left click, and it'll get wedged inside. You can also do that with this crack, with all these cracks on this box. If you want to use it here, you can actually get it pretty far back like that. They won't notice. And it does hit them if they're on top of this box. If they jump, they can get out of it. But then you'll have terrible bloom if you peek the corner. This one works too. Same. There's even more range too. Depending on how you want to use it, it's pretty OP. This next spot is kind of normal. You can either jump from here to this box, left click, or move a little more in so that it doesn't hang over the edge and they can see it. Or you can chuck it up like this. But the easier way is to jump from here, here, on this white line, and then either right click or left click, your choice, depending on how you want to do it. So if they want to plant here, it's pop, and even if they crouch, still hits them. Very OP. This next spot is B site. There's not really any good spots here, because if you're Killjoy, you'd probably want to be playing C or A. But you can probably throw over here, around the corner, where they won't be paying attention as much. But this side, so it's a little bit, but so if they plant even here, it hits them through the walls. Now have to reposition, as is for this one. So it blocks off 2 default planting spots. It's very good, and I would highly recommend that if you play B with Killjoy. You can pair it up with the turret in this back corner on top of those boxes. It's pretty good for B site, but if you're a Killjoy, you probably want to play either A or C. This next spot is going to be A site. There's going to be a couple spots. Just kind of have to just play around this box here. The obvious spots that people know is getting it right here. Either left clicking or right clicking. Right clicking, get it back farther. You can even throw it on top of the box, like in the middle. They can't even see, and the tarp kind of covers them a little. And as you can tell, if you go too high, they can crouch under it or just stand, it won't hit them. But with these ones, you can't crouch under it, you'll have to move out. It's a good way to just do some small damage. You can also take your swarm grenades, throw them on the edge here, so they can't really see, like here. This one hits around default, but this one gets more range, but that one's easier to see. The next map is Bind, and we'll be starting on A site. It's not it's really easy to play around with the Killjoy swarm grenades here. So the best part is like if they plant default here. There's actually a lineup that I made.
Placing swarm grenade
inside this tire, and they can hear it. They'll probably see it, but they probably won't be paying attention for it. You can also on this side. It's a little difficult to get some of these in sometimes to get these in. You want to aim on like this level here, on each side. So when you use it, you can't crouch under anything. Same even hits on the other side of the box. And the next one, it's kind of a little difficult to get.
Placing swamp grenade.
Swamp grenade out. Even when you crouch, it's a little more difficult to see. It's mainly all where default is. You can get it even lower if you come down here, aim along this black line.
Placing swamp grenade.
A little more.
Placing swamp grenade.
So you want to be along one of the tire marks.
Swamp grenade out.
It goes off. It's all around. It's all the way out here. So you want to throw it over this second, a little bit to the right of the second one. You see, if you throw it to the right a little bit too much, it'll be a little easier to see. All the way out, all the way around is kind of hard to get away from.
Placing swamp grenade.
But you obviously don't want it to fall like that. The next one is if people are playing around this box, if they're pushing in either through showers or rotate from short to get all the way over here. As you can see, it's over here. About central part, open. They have lots of cover. You can either use it on the back side here. You don't want to get too close, because if you throw it like this, but it'll obviously work perfectly with those ones. But if you really want that extra range, that'll help. If you really want to cover, it's kind of easier to see. But you can put one here, because if they run in from the showers, they probably won't see it because it's very hard to see on attacking. They'll start planting here and pop it. They'll cover all this box and even a little bit on that side. Like for some reason, nobody plants on this side of the boxes really. So it's not useful for back here, but obviously useful if they're playing here, which is one of the main plants on this map. These next swarm grenades are going to be for B if they're planning to default like here. These, if you roll, and if you go around this, if they want to plant on this side. Nobody really plants backside, but you could probably just like right click one up on top of this box. Like here, something right here. Just hit them. Or you can also like wedge one like up here, probably. But it's really easy. If you want to throw one, you can probably throw one in the middle here. Hit both defaults. It's good range. Or throw one like right here.
Placing swarm grenade.
Hard to see. Nobody's gonna be running up here.
Swarm grenade out.
They crouch. It's kind of OP. I don't really see anybody use this one. Not that many people play Killjoy. But if you
swarm grenade out.
Pretty OP. And that's B site, and that's all for Bind. The next map I have is Split. We'll be showing off B site first. When you start the game, people will probably come through here, throw one down, probably here, because you don't want it too far, just to get the whole choke point. Then over here, when they're planting over here, you want to throw it either here, or hit when you plant default, or like up here. crouch, it'll still hit you. Because those boxes are on a lot of the maps. It'll still hit you if you're planting there. And this site's a little small, there's not too many places to work with. You either plant here, or on this side of one of the boxes, on this corner here, this drink.
Swarm grenade out.
This whole section you can't get this one here. They probably won't be paying attention, they'll just run in and start planting. Or you could throw one back here.
Swarm grenade out.
Or even like down.
Placing swarm grenade.
Now we're on A site for split. Not too many like boxes to work with, but you can either put it one in the middle here or on the edge around here. It's a little easier to see if it's on the edge, but you won't really see it if you're just running to come plant on default. And also here, people like to plant here, so you can throw it a little bit farther back, maybe here, maybe even this one, but probably this one.
Swarm grenade out.
Yeah, because people like to plant here, they'll just hit a little farther, it'll do a little bit more
Swarm
damage.
grenade out.
It doesn't go all the way, but if you want to use one here, you probably want to get it on like this part of the green, on the outside, facing heaven and rafters.
Swarm grenade out.
So you pop it, it goes
Swarm grenade out.
down, you get double hit. If you throw one up on top, they won't hit them, even if they're standing. Not even if they jump up, they can like get up, like you can't even do anything up there. So there's no point wedge it in this corner like that. So hit them here, and it'll be force them to run back and maybe plant either default if you have a swarm grenade there. Back in this corner. Nobody really does that though. But that's really it for split. It's not really too easy to work around with on sites. This next site is the A site on Ascent. This site, it's kind of easy to play around. Probably the default's obviously back behind the electrical box. We're planning behind these. They'll primarily probably go for the door close and then run onto site and plant over here. So there's not really any ways, but you can tuck them like back behind. So when they come to plant here, you'll hit them. Or if you throw, because they'll probably plant back here maybe to get the angle from their entrance from main, or if they camp in wine, waiting for somebody to come from mid. But you can also get it like here, so it goes all the way. But if they decide to plant out here, nothing really can do. Maybe throw one back here, but nobody plants on this like line on the front. But for those that do plant around these boxes, you can just throw them on top. They can't crouch under it. Nothing they can really do. Or like, you can also throw one. You want to left click on this one, or like face downward and right click. You can't really get too close. You can try it out yourself. But obviously these don't go that far. Pop on these go hit back. So you probably do one on like the back side here, and then one here. These two. Probably planting right here. Or like back out here against this wall. The next one is B site. People basically only play around this box, but some people do plant along this wall. So if they plant along this wall, you can probably throw it either back here, or like a right click, or a left click, depending on how you do it. Maybe a right click like this. Now, the next spot is over here. Not that many people really plant here. Only plant around default. But you can probably get like a right click or a left click to just get it back there. Maybe even one like here.
Swarm
It's
grenade
all the
out.
way around. But something like that, where it hits all the way around this box and far out around too, is very helpful. So
Swarm grenade out.
that nobody really plants here though. They plant back here. There's a really broken one on this one, but first I'll show you the normal, like jump right click, jump left click.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Crouching. Has a large region
Swarm
around
grenade
the
out.
box, like this. So
Swarm grenade out.
hit even if you're standing here. But the real OP one is a left click.
Placing swarm grenade.
It's kind of hard to
Placing
do.
swarm grenade. Placing swarm
Yeah,
grenade.
there. You kind of gotta line up. Follow this black line here
Placing swarm grenade.
in the middle. And
Swarm grenade out.
here. So you can't crouch under it. Kind of like you're throwing it on top of these boxes. It's pretty OP.
Placing swarm grenade.
Or you can just do it
Swarm
clapping
grenade out.
here. Probably shoot it before they start using or plant. But I would
Swarm grenade out.
probably use that one if you're covering B site. But I don't really see that many Killjoys used on this map, so it's not very useful. Okay, now I'll show what someone will be like if they want to plant
Here.
default here. You can pop this, it'll hit them, they'll want to run out in a way. And if they want to plant here,
Swarm grenade
pop
out.
this one, they'll hit them here, they'll run away. Now, if they come through hookah or even long, they'll probably jump onto site and plant either
Yeah.
default, either one of the two defaults. This one will be canceled
Swarm
with
grenade
that. And if they come around a back site, there's actually one you can wedge back in here. They can't crouch under it. If they plant inside,
Swarm
it'll be
grenade
canceled
out.
with that one, which hits both default planting spots. And if they want to plant in either of the planting default spots, they'll be hit by that one. Now if they plant in this left default, which a lot of people like to plant,
Swarm grenade out.
the one inside on the left will hit it. And that is B site for bind. Oh. Okay, so the next two are going to be on C site on Haven. They will be walking up long, checking garage, and going into the corner.
Swarm grenade
This one
out.
hits them even while they're planting and crouching. And then if they come back and try to move a little bit farther away, this one will hit them even if they're in the corner. Now, if I come in from CT, they're camping either in that corner or on top of the logs, you can detonate this, it'll hit them even if they are on top of the logs, and it'll force them to rotate back, and if you have a teammate coming garage, maybe it'll deal damage to them. The next swarm grenades are on B site for Haven. So as they walk through the choke, they either plant on the left side,
Swarm grenade out.
where this one will hit them, they'll have to run away. They'll plant this side, or if they plant on either one, there's this one in the middle
Swarm grenade
that'll
out.
hit them if they're on either side, which is very helpful because they probably won't notice it if they're running right in. Or even if they play slow, they'll check this side and they won't acknowledge it at all. The next one is A site on Haven. They'll be pushing up through long. They'll start
Swarm grenade
planting.
out.
This one hits them even if they crouch. They'll back up, probably. Then they'll come around to this
Swarm
side.
grenade out.
They'll probably see that one, but it's also good for default. Not very visible. That one's for default too. And this one hits either this side or if they want to plant back CT side. Very helpful. The next one is for Ascent A site.
Swarm grenade out.
It'll hit them and force them around. If they decide to plant around these boxes,
Swarm grenade out.
this one will hit them even if they're crouching. Next one is for Ascent B site. So first, they'll push in, jump down, come to plant default.
Swarm grenade out.
These two on top of these boxes. And if they come plant over here by this fish, this box with the fish,
Swarm
you can have
grenade
this one in the
out.
back corner that hits them through the walls. Another one, which is the most annoying
Swarm
one,
grenade out.
is right here. They can't really see. They'll have to back away and then maybe come back to plant. And if they do end up planting,
Spike
go
planted.
sit over on the wooden boxes.
Swarm
This one
grenade
will
out.
force them off and away. This next one is split B site. If they come in through
Swarm grenade
B
out.
main, you can give this swarm grenade and it'll cover the whole choke. And if they come to plant default, you can either
Swarm
do this
grenade
one
out.
so they can't crouch under, or this other one by these stairs. So if they try to plant either over there,
Swarm
you can pop
grenade
this
out.
one, it covers the whole area. If they plant default, there's also this
Swarm
other one
grenade
here,
out.
which will not allow them from planting. The next site is going to be A site on split. So when they come around, plant default,
Swarm
it'll
grenade
pop
out.
this one, which gets all around default. And if they just think it's just the one, they'll
Swarm
come
grenade
back.
out.
And this one will pop. If they come around to this one,
Swarm grenade out.
you can pop it there. It'll just force them back a little. And if they just wait for that one to go away, this
Swarm
one
grenade
hits much more range. And can deal more damage, giving multiple ticks.